actually a funny story looking back at it. We were driving, right? Traffic, we were like in traffic, and our cab driver was all of a sudden we hear like something like a rubber band pop. He was driving and my mom saw him just
Ooh.
continually pumping on the brakes. So he's like trying to go in between cars. You should have saw him. He was like bobbing and weaving in between cars with the steering wheel, trying to avoid the cars. But it was almost like we're gonna hit something. It was like something's got to give, right? And the brakes just totally failed. My mom is like, okay. She was bracing herself to meet her maker. She was like, oh my gosh. And luckily, that there was some traffic there. We were going maybe about 35 miles per hour. But we weren't even going that fast.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Nice Corner. Hope you guys are wonderful and you are blessed. And before anything, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can keep up with everything in Nice Corner. Also, please don't forget to hit that bell notification so anytime my videos come out, you will be the first to get it. Also, please don't forget to like this video, because when you like a video, that lets people know that and lets YouTube know that you like this content. So liking my video as well would be a help. So thank you guys so much. And I just wanted to give a shout out to my wonderful subscribers, my recent subscribers who subscribe to my channel. I bless the Most High for you. Thank you so much for all the love and the support. I've kind of been facing some personal challenges lately in my life, as well as kind of these things with COVID. So some of my interviews have been a little bit slow, but I have some interviews lined up for you guys dealing with accommodations, dealing with investments, dealing with certain things that you guys would want to know coming here to Ghana, and that would be informative and helpful. In any way I can help, I would be more than happy to do so. So you guys, please stay tuned for that. And this video, we're going to go over different tips that I have of people coming here to Ghana from America, from the diaspora, the West, wherever you're at. I've been getting a lot of DMs lately about people asking me, oh, what are different tips that you have, any advice before moving to Ghana? And so I've been accumulating this list for you guys. And yes, there's been a lot of videos, I will admit, about Ghana in terms of different tips and different advice, but this is tips coming from Nye. So I hope that that they will be informative for you and they will be useful to you. So let's get into them. Okay, I have about 8 tips for you guys, okay? 8 tips, and I will be the very best tip that I have will be at the end of the video, so y'all gotta stick around for that one, okay? So we will be getting into the 8th tip. The system. Yes, the system here, I think I've discussed this in my other videos of the negative, the cons of being here in Ghana, but I will elaborate a little bit. Definitely, in terms of the systems, in terms of efficiency, even, yes, bribery, it's totally different than in the West. You have to get used to the systems because they're definitely different. I would say that you have to kind of know the system. And of course, we've been here 3 years, so I don't know everything, but we do know a little bit, about the system. And of course, things in the States, we think that, or from the West, so things like happen really, like efficiency is key. That ain't the way it is here. So, like I said, with bribery, when a policeman stops you, for example, you have to give him a little bit of money for him to maybe let you go. Of course, it's not like that in America or probably other countries in the West as well. But, or to kind of move your path, kind of like anything you're having with immigration or anything, kind of move things forward, you gotta pay a little bit of money, and I have to say that really got to my mom and I when we first moved here, because we were like, what's the deal? Kind of with the bribery, with kind of it's a little corrupt. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. The corruption is just more blatant, I would say, here than it is maybe in the States or in the West. And for example, my mom and I, we just happened to us probably about a month ago. My mom, she accidentally ran a red light, and the police, of course, pulled her over. And the guy, he was like saying, I'm gonna have to take you to the station. A lot of times when they say, when I gotta have to take you to the station, that means that they want money. Because of course that puts a fear in people, right? You don't wanna go to the police station. So he was, so my mom was like, you know what, let's just cut it. Do you want some, you want some money, right? And he was kind of like acted like, oh, well, you need this offense. And at first he wanted 200 CDs. Yes, 200 CDs, but he wasn't about to get that. So we got off with 100 CDs for that. And what really makes me angry is that they go for kind of like expats, diasporans, and people who have, kind of slightly maybe nicer automobiles. Because, I mean, there's people here that don't have a license, okay, that are on the road. We've seen so many offenses. People driving, passing through red lights, the police and the officers are right there seeing it. I mean, all these offenses, but if they feel like they can get some money out of you, they will use that tactic. Oh, I'm going to take you to the police station. But all I want is money. But that's just an example. And there was another example when we went to the Volta region where they pulled us over for absolutely nothing. And, my mom, she's a very direct person, okay? She's very direct. She kind of is like, okay, what's up? What's the deal? You want some money, right? And that really, angers me, because I mean, it's like, if you break the law, you break the law. Here's a ticket, just go on about your merry way. But just for you to get some money, because you feel like that you can get some money from me. So that's just one example of bribery, and that is really frustrating being here in Ghana. I'm not gonna lie. Things don't work as efficient the way they're supposed to. They kind of make things a little bit harder here, if you ask me. Things that I'm like, okay, this could be something that could be really, really simple. It ain't really simple. You kind of have to go through hoops a little bit here. So even a lot of Ghanaians complain about the system, here in Ghana, and even a lot of places, other places on the continent, but especially here in Ghana, they're like, that's why a lot of them want to move to other places, because the systems aren't the way things are set up. They kind of, to us, come out from the outside looking in, kind of don't really make any sense. But it's definitely something that you have to get used to. Okay, my second tip will be transportation. Transportation, you have, there's about 4 different modes of transportation. Of course, if you have your own car, that's a mode of transportation. Motorbikes, you can do a motorbike if you're Evel Knievel. And there's a lot of people and a lot of women that I know and ladies that have done it, who have got a motorbike with the motorbike mates, and they've just been cruising all around town, like Naya. The lady who I interviewed building her house, Miss Naya, she has ridden a motorbike. She definitely has. And definitely, if you haven't checked out that video, she's a really, really wonderful woman and a beautiful wordsmith. And she has a really lovely poem at the end of the video. So if you haven't checked that video out, definitely check it out. But Miss Naya, she's petted a crocodile, y'all. A crocodile. I was like, okay, Miss Naya, I'm scared of you. She's really adventurous like that. So she was like, oh yeah, motorbike, that's a really, really good way to get around and nothing will happen to you. But I'm like, God forbid if I fly off of that thing, I'm probably never gonna get back up. But yes, you can ride a motorbike here, and that's another way of transportation. Taxis is another mode of transportation here, in cabs. Yes, they have Uber, Lyft, all that type of stuff for you as well. And also the Trotro. The Trotro is like a little microbus, I would say, that houses about 15 to 20 people in them, and you squeeze in and you pay the Trotro mate, you tell them kind of wherever you need to go, and they have like different routes around Accra that you can go to, and you just tell them. So those are like the 4 modes of transportation, but you have to be careful with transportation. Please stay tuned for a video that I have of a scary moment that happened to me and my mom with transportation. On transportation, you have to be careful of the different types of transportation that you use. You can't get on every taxi, you can't get on any Trotro, because the cars, some of them, they're held together by spit bubble gum, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. So things can happen. Let's just put it that way. Things can happen. So you guys, please stay tuned for that video. So I would say please be careful of the different types of transportation that you get into. There was one gentleman that is from the diaspora. He's a really good friend of ours that's here, and he told my mom and I, be careful of the different transportations that you get into. In terms of the church or the taxi, make sure they're safe, because safety measures are not always put in place. So please, you guys, please be careful if you're coming here. And also with transportation, he said there's 4 things that you need to carry with you, which is a handkerchief, like a little wipe because it's hot and humid, a snack, because you never know you can get stuck somewhere, some water, and a fan. Those are the 4 things that if you're on public transportation to really have when you first get here, to kind of carry with you so it won't just be totally uncomfortable being on public transportation. My 6th tip will be healthcare. I'm planning on doing a video with a doctor friend of mine. She's really, really sweet, dealing with the different things and types of healthcare that's here. But healthcare is far different than what it's like in the States or in the West or in Western countries. Healthcare here is a little substandard. You can't just go in like insurance. You have like, oh, I can just put it on my insurance. It's not really like that here from what I know. Of course, it may be like that, but to my knowledge, it really isn't. Emergency services, they have them, but they're really not that effective. So you really have to be, you just can't just call 911 if you're in kind of a grave condition. I would say, here with emergency services, it's not very, very effective. The EMTs, there's no really EMTs here. They're basically drivers. So if you're gravely ill, you better be praying to the Most High above, or else you will meet your maker. I'm not gonna lie to you. So healthcare, there really are some problems that I would say that need to be done with the healthcare system. So if you're, a person coming here and you have certain health challenges, I would definitely say to get that kind of, make sure that you have your provisions in place, for that, because it doesn't work that way here. You can't just call 911 and they'll be at your doorstep in 2 minutes. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way here at all. So please, with the healthcare, you gotta get down with that. My 5th tip will be accommodation. Just a little tip. It was definitely something to get used to, where they want about 2-3 years in advance, one lump sum. When my mom and I came here, or was checking out Ghana before we came here, we were like, what? All that money, we're used to monthly, rent in the States and in the West. That's the way it goes. But here, if you're lucky, like we were with our landlord, it's a year. We had to pay him a year in advance. But it's the norm of about 2-3 years in advance. And I think that it kind of also is a hardship on Ghanaians as well, because you have to come up with all this money to rent a place. And, if maybe there could be something worked out where it's maybe monthly or less money, more Ghanaians could even, that would be kind of like a better way for more Ghanaians to get housing as well. But like I said, again, the systems here, they make it a little bit difficult, and when it comes to contractual agreements, they have contracts. Now, in terms of them holding up, legally, I don't know. I don't know how well they hold up, but by law here, just to let you guys know, it should be 6 months. But thanks to the lovely system, they really don't enforce that. So, the kind of landlords, they can kind of set whatever price they want to. And also with repairs, if you have like a good landlord, like we have a really good landlord, but with in certain situations, you're on your own. You're on your own in terms of repairs, in terms of, getting things done around the place. Landlords are not required to pay that. So it's that's a little bit challenging, because of course where we come from, our landlord took care of things right away. If the dishwasher needed fixing, or the air conditioner needed, servicing or whatever, he brought out his, people took care of it and everything. But it's not quite like that here. So you gotta get used to that with accommodation. But I will be doing other videos dealing with accommodation for you guys, so you guys will know like different things and different tips to know when you're looking for that house or that place here in Ghana. My fourth tip will be, okay, now I'm getting into customer service. Customer service, that may be something that's really trivial, I thought it was, you just go in someplace, they greet you with a nice smile, ask you, say, oh, how are you? Or, can I take your order? Or very accommodating. Customer service is really key in America, but here, not so much. With customer service, I really feel that it's not anything that's intentional, but kind of I would say they're a little bit more drier. They kind of like act like they kind of like, oh well, I'm doing you a favor kind of thing. So it's like, well, I'm, even though you're coming in as the customer and you're helping to really keep that business afloat and helping to pay that person's salary. That's always the way I saw it. I worked in customer service for a little minute in the States, and with customers, you're taught that person is helping to pay your salary. So you be courteous, you be personable with the customer. But here, it's really not like that. It's kind of like they don't act like they want to be there, and it's like it's a pull. You know what I'm saying? With customer service. So expecting that, the niceties when it comes to customer service and the smiles, it's not gonna be that way a lot of times here. My mom and I, we've gone to a couple places and the person has been just absolutely wonderful. And that really meant a lot, because it's always nice to be nice to your customers unless they're being a complete holy terror, then that's something different. But no, if you're just saying hi, how are you? Nothing's wrong with that. But here, it's not quite like that. So you gotta get used to customer service being a little bit different, but you get used to it, right? My third tip will be having useful connections. Of course, you may not have those connections when you first come here and get off the plane. But as you're here, you develop different connections, you meet more people, and having useful connections in different places is helpful, especially when it comes to like different things such as immigration, anything dealing with, your passport, your driver's license, or kind of things that are dealing kind of more with being here in Ghana. It's always good because if you have a useful connection and like a friend of a friend that can help you out in an area, that makes the process for you go much smoother. Instead of you waiting, let's say 3 months for something, it can be done in maybe a couple, 3 weeks, because that person knows somebody. So useful connections come in handy. That's definitely helped my mom and I. So kind of, if you can, develop that network and make sure that you have a few people that in different places that can help you out, especially being a foreigner here. That definitely comes in handy. A second tip will be bargaining. Bargaining and negotiating, that is the name of the game here, being in Ghana. And my mom and I, we really had to get used to that coming from the States. Bargaining and all that type of stuff. We like, it's a set price and you just pay for it. But with bargaining and negotiating, we learned from a friend that it's always good to, let's say if the person says, oh, I'm going to give you 50 CDs for something. You always kind of like say, well, I'm going to give you 25 and have that negotiation point. And they say, oh, 25 no good. Okay. Well, he or she will be like, okay, I'll give you, let's say 40. Okay. Well, no, my last price is 35. Take it or leave it. And a lot of times they'll do it. Always keep that margin there for, of negotiating. Kind of like have a halfway point. That goes for, everything, that's not a set price here. When you go out to the marketplace, when you even purchase a car, my mom and I had to do that. It's very important to do that. That's kind of like a little bit of an art to bargaining, and that can definitely be useful to you. Now, this is my last and final tip for you guys and any advice that I have. Okay, so this is my number one tip for you guys, which is do not romanticize Ghana, okay, when you come here, if you've never been here before. Especially when you're coming here to move. I always say it's a different kind of situation when you come in here visiting, turning up for a little while, for a couple weeks, and then when you go back. to the States or abroad or wherever you live. It's a totally different situation when you live here. And coming here with rose-colored glasses on, my mother, for example, she came here with such rose-colored glasses on when we first got here. She, wanted to kind of like, blend in with the culture, really vibe with the culture. She was really, on high. And she kind of gave excuses or turned a blind eye to certain things because she wanted to vibe so much with the culture. And that's always, good if you can. But it will be a colossal disappointment if it maybe wasn't what you expected. And like I said, it depends on, like I've said in my videos, it depends on what you're looking for. Some people, they come here to Ghana to live and they absolutely love it. This is their culture, this is their home. They feel like that they can, be free here, they connect with their roots and all that good stuff. But, Ghana can be very frustrating. And after a while, kind of that wore off from her. She was kind of like, it is what it is. This is a situation. She didn't, have those rose-colored glasses on. But there were a couple things that were a culture shock for her. Just like if you move anywhere else, around the world, you're gonna have to deal with culture shock. So I would say that would be probably my number one tip for you guys if you're coming here to live or to move. Definitely, vibe with the culture, but kind of give yourself a chance to learn the culture. You know what I'm saying, before, so anything won't be a surprise to you and you won't be disappointed or let down or anything like that, because Ghana, it's a nice place, but it's also a very frustrating place. I'm going to be very honest with you, especially if you're coming from another, way of doing things and what you're used to. Coming here is quite an adjustment. It really is. It's quite an adjustment. Hey guys, sorry if I look a little bit different, but I almost left this bonus tip out. So this is something that, like a tip that if you guys are coming here, you guys would maybe want to know, is the street hawkers, the street vendors that sell things on the street. Definitely beware of the different products that you buy in terms of like functional products, because a lot of times they don't work, or if you use them, you maybe use them, get like one-time use out of them, and you pay this money for things that don't work. So, I would definitely beware of products on the street. My mom and I, we bought some jumper cables for our car, and when we got them home, they did not work. And it isn't like going to like a brick and mortar, maybe return them or something like that. So a lot of the products on the street, you definitely have to be careful of buying, because a lot of times they don't work, or that's just my advice to you guys. So I remember when we first came in, we're like, oh, you could just buy things off the street like a normal store. No, it is not like that. So, it's okay maybe to buy certain foods or, chips or water, things like that. But anything that's functional, I would say stay away from it. Please go to a store where, you can buy something. And then even if it doesn't work, you can maybe take it back. Maybe. That's not even a definite here in Ghana either. But yeah, so I would definitely beware of that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope this was helpful for you guys. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this information. And also another thing too, I did a podcast not too long ago. That was what you heard in the beginning of the video by the Wahaala boys. They were wonderful, Tunde and Nana. They're podcasters from England, and Nana's from Ghana and Tunde is from Nigeria, and they were just wonderful. It was a really funny interview, very light. You would really enjoy them. They have a wonderful podcast, so I will put the link in the description box just in case you want to hear it, and get more familiar with the Wahaala boys. Okay, so you guys take care and be blessed. Bye.